This is the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 7. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by thy right hand them which put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on you brethren out there teaching his word in our sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the elect, 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there, shalom. I'm the brother Dhamma Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. All right, and we're coming into times to where, this prayer is going to be very much needed, especially for the elect as we're entering into the times, of the wicked, our enemy, getting ready to come with that sword. And as we've been telling you, Esau's blessing is the sword, and it comes in many, many ways, not just through a physical gun or a physical weaponry, but through, music, through technology. Shit, he's even turned the weather into a weapon, geoengineering, the bounds of his weaponization through his blessings are endless. And he uses it, at every turn and every opportunity that he can. All right. And he's getting ready to bring a new form of the sword upon our people in these last days, which is, technology, artificial intelligence, AI, and, we're going to need to be under the shadow of the wings of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai at the end of the day. Because like it says here in verse 13, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Like we've been telling you, the Lord is going to use Esau on the left-hand side to bring the sword, to bring judgment upon 2/3 of you wicked-ass Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the biblical Israelites. And you see, and this is why we're constantly, praying without ceasing. And we're, hoping and praying that, we're going to be found worthy when all is said and done, when the Most High, allows the enemy to come in like a flood. All right. And I've done numerous videos on this, and I found another one. I'm going to do another video again. But, I'm going to show you the main point of why I'm doing this. It says what? Watch. Russian soldiers surrender to gun-wielding robot. Humanoid warfare nears, you see? And this is, I've been doing videos on this for years now, telling you that eventually, they're going to send in the drones. They're going to send in these humanoid robots, They're going to send in a more, technological, modernized form of warfare upon you people. And it's going to come here to the soils of America. They're just testing a lot of these humanoid war robots, in these different proxy wars in different places around the world where they're fighting these wars. And they're not telling you these things, they're keeping it secret because they're using these robots out there to, to test it out in actual war zones and war areas, whether it's in the so-called Middle East, whether it's in the jungles of Africa, in South America, and where are now over there in Ukraine and Russia. And eventually, once they've done enough drills, they've used, they've tested these robots out enough, eventually they're going to bring it here to the States, man. And it's going to be functioned and programmed and ran by AI. You see, and these things are going to be like a judge, jury, and executioner, man. All right. And they're going to use these things in urban warfare type of situations upon you American people pretty soon. They're going to be kicking in doors. They're going to be going, city to city, town to town. And they're going to be using a lot of these robots, which is a form of what? Esau's blessing, which is the sword, man. So let me read some of this. It says video footage circulating on X from the Ukrainian front shows a droid TW-7.62 ground robotic system, roughly half the size of a Mini Cooper, forcing the surrender of 3 Russian troops during an active military operation. The incident suggests that war robots are rapidly maturing, moving beyond support and logistics onto offensive roles, you see? And there's plenty of movies, this dystopian movies where they're showing you these robots moving in this type of manner. It started a long time ago with fucking RoboCop, you know? And you got a bunch of other sci-fi movies showing you these same things. Movie Elysium, they showed you how those robots were security guards, how they were escorting the rich to their airplanes, how they were cops, they were judges, they were probation officers. You know, they were pretty much in all facets of society, doing the bidding of doing the bidding of the international bankers, man. You see. Remember, these devils have to show you what they're going to do before they do it. And all the signs are there. And this is just more of the blessing of Esau on the left-hand side. You see? And guess what? They're going to use it. It's only a matter of time before they start bringing these humanoid war bots here to the streets of America and be used on you American people and on 2/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And they will be programmed to operate with extreme prejudice, man. It says Futurism reports that Ukrainian defense robotics firm Devroid's Armed Unmanned Ground Vehicle, or UGV, forced the surrender of 3 Russian soldiers. The footage shows 3 Russian soldiers approaching one by one, removing their equipment and lying down next to the UGV, the tech outlet wrote in a note, adding the UGV had a ballistic computer and artificial intelligence for autonomous detection, capture, and tracking of targets, you see? And you don't think they're going to use these robots here on the soils of America and program it to deem you so-called people of color targets, man? You better think again. You see, and this is why we need to be under the wing and under the protection of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because he's our only defense from these things, man. This is why we always speak about spiritual power is going to be needed for the elect. Because we're going to be up against things like this, Yeah, we might be up against, other humans and shit like that, but it's going to get to the point where we're going to be up against shit like this, You see? And this thing made 3 Russian soldiers surrender. How much more you the average everyday American citizen, man, woman, or child? You see? It says, you think those ICE agents are moving like a Gestapo, that they're not acting like, your fellow American. How the hell you think, what spirit these robots are going to be in that day? You see? It says, here goes the point I want to get to. What is clear is that wheeled combat robots on the modern battlefield in Ukraine used for offensive operations could soon transition into humanoid robotic platforms. You see? Look at this. California-based Robotic Startup Foundation is developing the Phantom humanoid robot for both commercial and military use. You see, people think, oh yeah, we'll have robots in our house. It'll wash the dishes. It'll babysit your kids and blah blah blah. Yeah, that's just the fluff and puff shit they're showing you, man. All right, but they're not showing you the other side of it, where these robots are going to be used for what do they say, for commercial use, for military use. Well, hey, martial law is coming here to America, the Insurrection Act. You don't think they can roll these things out for military use? Because most people think, military combat, they think not on the soils of America. They think somewhere in some war zone out in some third world country somewhere. The most average American citizen doesn't, think that it will ever be used on them in a military capacity. Wrong. Remember, Esau's moving with the sword. We know he wants to get this new world order in place. He know he has to subjugate and basically crush, a lot of the upcoming rebellions and Constitution-loving Americans and freedom fighters and people who don't want to be treaded on here in America. You see, it only makes sense for them to have to bring out these different humanoid robots to save their military troops from being harmed or hurt or injured dealing with you American people. Just send out these robots who are equipped to handle weaponry and guns and things of that nature, which is going to show you. It says the firm has stated ambition to build, tens of thousands of these humanoids capable of carrying payloads and various weapons platforms for use in dangerous missions such as breaching buildings, and has secured defense contracts and interest from U.S. military programs. You see? So it's already in the works that they're building these robots specifically for these things, man. And like I said, you'll be a damn fool not to believe that they're not going to be used in urban missions here in the States and on you American citizens, man. And look at this. It says, unlike other robotic companies such as Boston Dynamics, Agility Robotics, Anybotics, ClearPath Robotics, Open Robotics, Unitree, and Figure AI, all of which have stated that their humanoids will not be, you believe that, you're a goddamn lie. I mean, you're a goddamn fool. Remember, this man is a liar. He's never going to tell you what he's truly going to do. It says, stated that their humanoids will not be used in military or defense applications. Foundations has stated otherwise. You see, so they're liars, man. Look, in these companies, and look at this. How many is that? Boston Dynamics, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these are all American robot companies. Imagine how many robot companies China has or these other countries have, man. And they're talking about getting thousands and thousands of these robots to do what? Ultimately, to do, to take over the police force, to do other menial things too. But ultimately, we know Esau Edom he needs more of these for war purposes, for the sword purpose than anything else. All right, to oppress, to conquer, to subjugate. Okay. Now watch this. It says, look at that. Foundation's Phantom MK1 has been trained on the 9mm pistol. You see, and that's just one thing that is telling you it's been trained on. I'm guarantee you it's been trained on many other military aspects, man. You see, look at that. The Foundation's Phantom MK1 has been trained on the 9mm pistol. CEO Sankiet Pantak confirmed Phantom MK1 has had weapon training in a recent conversation with tech blog Humanoids Daily. Look at that one. According to Forbes, Foundation deployed 40 robots in 2025, with manufacturing expanding this year to 10,000, then to 50,000 by late 2027. Given that Foundation is one of the very few, if not only, which that's a lie, man. You can't believe the shit they be saying. That Foundation is the only one of the very few, if not only, robotics firms in the U.S. with a DoD contract specifically for an offensive humanoid combat robot. It wouldn't be a surprise if these bots were found on the Ukrainian battlefield for testing later this year. You see, and they're just telling you that's just one, allegedly. Okay, let's just say this was true, right? That Foundation is the very few that has a contract with the Department of Defense. But you don't think these other companies who want to get paid, who want to get on the map, are not working to get a contract as well with the DoD? You'd be a damn fool to think that they're not, man. And anyways, don't believe anything this man says. Anyway, I tell you this: if they're saying that Foundation this year plan to have 10,000 to 50,000, you can probably double and even triple that number, man. Remember, all these tech geeks, the Elon Musk, the Palantir founder, they're all speaking about how robots are going to take over and AI is going to take over everyday menial jobs from you American people. You don't think they're going to have a goddamn 500,000 military humanoid robot army or a police force to do their bidding, man, to kick in doors, to be Judge Dreads, man. See, and we've been telling you, Jake, and warning you for the longest that these things are coming. And this man is going to eventually set it off to get to that point. This is Revelation chapter 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. You see? A short time to do what? To establish this new world order. And what is a better way to come down with great wrath than to come with what? With Esau's sword. And with these humanoid robots in the form of that sword, man. They're going to be programmed to do the bidding of these elites, man. To crush, to conquer, to subjugate, go door to door, to wage war on protesters, to wage war on you American people on the behalf of these elites, man. And you better believe they're going to be given the green light to execute with extreme prejudice, man. You see? And this is just more of Esau's blessing. Hey, and the Lord's going to let Esau do it to bring judgment upon you Israelites for your stiff-neckedness and your rebellion, man. You see? It says, here come humanoid robots. Industry makes clear pivot towards dedicated purpose commercial deployments. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, you might have some of these robots used for commercial purposes, like I said, to be bartenders, to be trash men or whatever, but ultimately you're going to have the more extreme version, which is these like you see here. And they're going to be able to be trained to handle more than a 9mm pistol. Okay. It's only going to get more and more fierce. These robots is going to be doing. They're going to have combat training. They're going to be able to defend themselves. They're going to be able to do what's that shit called? Krav Maga, jujitsu. You know what I mean? Be able to sprint faster than the average person, chase your ass down, scale buildings. You know what I mean? Be able to see through walls, do all type of fucking military actions, man. You know, I'm pretty sure they want these robots to be even more skilled than Navy SEALs. And it will be, because it's going to have what? Artificial intelligence running it, man. It's going to be able to calculate situations. You know what I mean? It can be on a building. It'll be able to, have depth perception. You know what I mean? Like I said, night vision, heat seeking. And once it look at you, it'll be able to facial recognition, all type of shit, man. This is just more of the sword that Esau is getting ready to come with. And this is why we're going to need Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai more than ever, man. Spiritual power is going to be a must, man. Let's say this is Psalms 140:4. Keep me, O Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purpose to overthrow my goings. You see? The proud have hid a snare for me and cords, and they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, Salah. I said unto Yahweh, Thou art my power. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord. O Yahweh, my power, the strength of my salvation. Thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. You see, and this is what we're praying and hoping for, that we are covered, because the day of battle is coming. This devil is coming down with that great wrath. He's going to come in like a flood. And like it tells you, the Lord's going to lift up a standard for his elect in that day, because we're going to need it. All right. That's why scriptures say, fear not thy worm, Jacob. You know, the Lord's going to help us. He's going to have to be with us, man, because what this man has, we don't have, really no defense for it, except through the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and in his power. It says, grant not, O Yahweh, the desires of the wicked, further not his wicked devices, lest they exalt themselves, Salah. And this is what this is all about. Esau doing what he's doing is to exalt himself, to bring in this NWO, to merge man with machine, to bring in this dystopian technocracy where he can play God and, use technology to try to, like he said, usurp the Most High from his throne. But we know it's not going to come to pass. We know he's going to be destroyed and judged. But hey, this man is still going to come in this manner. It says, further not his wicked devices, like he exalt himself, Salah. It says, as for the head of those that compass me about, let the mischief of their own lips cover them. Let the burning, it says, let the same plans that they're planning be their end. And it is, Esau didn't even know he set himself up to be totally destroyed. But the Lord is just putting that spirit of pride on him to move in this manner. So ultimately, prophecy can be fulfilled. It says, let burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into the fire. And they are that nuclear fire, into deep pits that they rise not up again. Let not an evil speaker be established in the earth. Evil shall hunt the violent man to overthrow him. You see, and this is part of our prayers too. That Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai comes and destroy this man. Send Yahweh Shai, send your right hand, knock this devil out, break his teeth, O Most High, out of his mouth. And we know the Lord's going to do exactly that. And in the same time, we're praying to be delivered and saved from this incoming violence this man is getting ready to unleash upon Jacob, whether it's, through the sword, whether it's through these humanoid robots, through martial law, through biological agents, and whatever other form of mischief this man is coming with. Verse 12, I know that Yahweh will maintain the cause of the afflicted and the right of the poor. Surely the righteous shall give thanks unto thy name. See, there's the name again. You see, and our help is in the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, It says what? The righteous runneth into it and are safe. It says, the upright shall dwell in thy presence. You see? Because we're going to need every last bit of it, man. Because this man is coming with it. And 2/3 of you, Jake, ain't going to stand a chance, man. It says, Isaiah 10:5, O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. You see? So the Lord using Esau on the left hand, as a form of punishment, as the sword that's getting ready to come upon you, Jakes. It says, I will send him against an hypocritical nation. And who's that hypocritical nation? You Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, mainly 2/3 of you. See, that's why I just read earlier, it said that the upright shall be safe. The upright are going to be held under the wings, But 2/3 of our people, hey, these type of judgments are coming for you. And against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets, man. And how is part of that you're going to be tread down like the mire of the streets? It's through these humanoid robots, through these Phantom, what's it called? Phantom MK1? Is that what's it called? Yeah, Phantom MK1 has been trained on the 9mm pistol. Look, he's in all black too, man. That's why it's called a phantom. You know, things probably at night. You probably can't even see these damn robots, man. They're probably going to be super silent. They ain't going to be, you know. Usually you think of a robot, you think of anything is probably going to be moving silent. You know, you ain't gonna be able to hear it. It's gonna be quiet. It's gonna be scaling buildings, kicking in doors. You know, crush your damn palm of your hand if you try to grab it. You know. And like I said, we've seen all type of other robots dancing, doing hip hop moves, shooting basketballs. You know, they're not just training them for these little cutesy, entertainment type of uses, man. You know, also they have the use of the sword, man. The use to deal death, the use to bring judgment, the use to fulfill Esau's blessing of the sword, man. See? So, hey, it's going to be what it's going to be. Hey, man, I just hope and pray that we're part of the elect. We're going to be covered, and we're have faith that spiritual power will be given, you know, at the time of need. But at the same time, man, hey, the devil is getting ready to come with it, and you can see, you know, many forms of his sword, which is coming upon you, Jake, in these last days, man. So with that, you know, I'm going to close it there. Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Until the next one, Shalom.